Bearing witness to our rapidly evolving world, it's hard to ignore the ripples of environmental, social governance, factors shaping global markets. Yet, aligning investments with ESG principles is no trivial task, which is why we have an expert to show us the way. And you just heard her on the panel, and she's going to be our keynote speaker as well, Ms. Jona Lemmonds, who, again, is the founder and CEO, also managing director of Launch Your Wealth. She's going to speak to us on a digitized future, transforming finance, investing, and capital in the new era. Get ready to be inspired by Jona, a fearless leader and visionary in the business industry. With an agile mindset, a passion for people, she has established herself as a prominent figure in her company and beyond. Jona's exceptional track record includes overseeing real estate projects exceeding $100 million and securing over $5 million in private equity for her investor clients. Jona, the stage is all yours.
Thank you all for joining this morning. This is such an important topic, but I'll try to fast track everyone here, and I promise you there was no rehearsal. So let's see how to begin this. I just want to say, when we talk about the future of money and the ideals of wealth, I want to hear from everyone here if you would like to engage. Again, my name is Jona Lemmonds. Thank you. Welcome to the keynote. And it is about a digitized future. And bear with me as I go through this little tool here. Borderless opportunities to reshaping and disrupting traditional finance and capital. That's where we're at today. A little bit about myself, but who cares? I care about you because you're joining this keynote. My question to you right now is, do you all remember the Y2K, 1999? I thought that was crazy because we were all, in the media. They were scaring us. So the purpose of this keynote is to kind of share with you more on the psychology, a holistic approach on the digitization of money and capital and so on and so forth. So my background is 20 years plus. I'm also a mom raising a family in Los Angeles, California. So Vegas is kind of like the second home. But I want to give you a fast track version of what I wanted to really get to take away the fear, the doubt of what's happening in the crypto and blockchain technology, which then impacts finance. So as I'm holding my cell phone, because I want to make sure I stay organized here, the asset tokenization, does anyone know about this? Raise your hand if you're familiar, and if you're not familiar, that's okay, because I'm here to take away those misconceptions as well. So asset tokenization, basically, it is referring to the process of digitizing real-world assets, like real estate, artwork, commodities, for example, and basically it's represented in the blockchain network. And you're probably wondering, what is the blockchain network? So I'm going to go into slide 2. And I'm just going to highlight fractionalized. It means they take it into pieces. You can own pieces of an asset. Programmable. So obviously it can become a token through the smart contract, which is part of the technology. Third is asset agnostic. So pretty much we can do this in any type of asset class. Asset class can mean real estate, commodities, artwork, etc. Next slide. So we're going to talk a little bit about the benefit and advantage. So by tokenizing assets previously illiquid, become easily tradable on digital platforms. So you're probably wondering, what does that mean? Well, it means that we can buy, sell, and trade these tokens, benefiting from increased liquidity and potentially price discovery in a 24/7 global market. I'll say that in a simple language, which is pretty much it's like you using the technology to do an ACH to your bank account. except this is in the investing level, which means every day, like the currency is changing the trade amount or the trade cost. So that's what's going to give you access to these asset classes and a way to become an investor or invest in it. And again, it opens up to possibilities for new investment models. So if you're a business similar to my space, real estate, investing, wealth management, asset management, you're a company or you're an entrepreneur, definitely start tuning into this, because the Y2K movement that we had crazy in 1999 going to 2000, I will never forget that. And to top it off, Amazon. When the e-com was being talked about, none of us really understood what that could do. It revolutionized everything from retail to wholesaling to distribution. So this is something that I think and I believe we should start looking into further. So the reason I'm sharing about the benefit and advantage is because we're talking about inaccessible markets, right? So you're thinking, how can I invest like a billionaire or like a multimillionaire? A lot of those secrets are really not secrets, just so you all know. It's easy to have a concept of, oh, the person has to be a high net worth individual to get into this type of tokenized asset or become an investor. And we're here to encourage. Through my company, we're here to encourage and open the platform for that. So the other part that I wanted to highlight a little bit here is ownership. Liquidity means you can access, right? So if you want to make money off of it, you can, because you're in control, right? Not someone else, not another business. It's you. You're controlling what your money is doing, how you're investing it, and how you're allocating and managing capital for these assets, such as real estate, commodities, so on and so forth. Okay, so I had a whole plan, but I pivoted because I really wanted to have a more interactive, relationship with you this morning with the keynote. So I'm just going to go and share with you a quote from Adeline Zhu. She's the Chief Ecosystem Growth Officer for Chainlink Labs, so check it out. They're doing amazing work right now. She basically said, with the global nature of blockchain, we are no longer bounded by geography. And that is exactly why I fell in love with this, with the notion that we're borderless, right? We can create as many opportunities in finance, particularly with capital and investment, where geography, your location, I can be in Latin America and do business in Asia, do business in the US. And it won't affect anything. In fact, it will advance our growth, economically, leverage-wise, financially. She also said enhanced liquidity. So you've heard about liquidity. Liquidity is we want to make more money, right? The conference is about MoRE 2.0. So more money sounds kind of like, okay, it has a negative tone. No, it doesn't, and that is why I'm here, because I want this to be a way for you all to leave this keynote understanding that, hey, maybe it's time to look at that and see how it can relate to what I'm doing in my business or to become an investor and create and build wealth, sustainable wealth. So traditional finance has a concept of, where they basically will have to cost you actually as the investor before they can actually liquidate the assets. So what blockchain technologies, crypto technologies are able to do starting now, and of course it's still evolving, it's still changing, it's able to reduce that. So that's a lot of money when you're talking about 20 to 30%, because a lot of the institutional investing done behind closed doors, it's a lot of money. It's millions and millions and millions of dollars. And actually on the digital assets, but also the Bitcoin and crypto, so if you're familiar with that, every single day there's billions transacted, billions that we don't even see, we don't even know. And that's how important it is in shaping from traditional finance to what the future looks like. Increased innovation. Like she said, finance is evolving and changing. There are opportunities to build completely new products that we have not thought about. So for me, as a company, as the founder of Ashtree Capital Wealth Group, that is where I look at and I see what can we do for the masses? What can we do to accommodate everyday people from all walks of life? Whether you believe you have a lot of money or don't have a lot of money, and you want to get into this space and understand, oh, I can become an investor in the digital space, right? I can create my digital asset holdings and build a business out of that. I mean, who doesn't want to do that? I mean, I think when you're talking about the next generations of wealth, this is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the next generations of wealth. So according to the Boston Consulting Group, they are a digital technology data company, they did a study. By 2030, $16 trillion. This is where this market is going to be at. So $16 trillion. And this is a study that they did as well. So 91% of institutional investors. Now, when we hear institutional investors, that can mean banks, private equity firms, wealth management firms, registered advisory firms, family offices, private funds. They are actually interested in tokenized assets. 41% of institutional investors hold cryptocurrency, so please don't be discouraged on the news and all the issues that happened with FTX, for example. Don't be discouraged with that because the future is so broad and it's so bright right now. 15% of the study, additional institutional investors plan to hold digital assets in their portfolios in the next 2 to 5 years. That speaks a lot. That speaks a lot. So if you're in the similar space, this is definitely worth the conversation to start having. And this is sort of what I came to my closing remarks. In every innovation unlocks new possibilities, more opportunities to create wealth, growth in the industry, and we can increase efficiency, liquidity, and accessibility to empower leverage, financial leverage, and financial inclusion. So again, what I mentioned earlier, if you think, hey, how do I become an investor? I work with my financial advisor or I work with my bank and I pretty much save my money. It's time to rethink. It's time to maybe create a new door, create a new path to start thinking about that. And because that is the world of finance. Everything is related to the world of finance. And through increased accessibility, expanded utility, enhanced leverage, and improved capital management, blockchain is empowering individuals and businesses to unlock new investment possibilities, to optimize efficiency, and reshape the future of wealth creation. So let me touch on that, and then I'll have everyone be able to ask questions, and we'll have a conversation. So with what I had just shared here, investment possibilities. Investment possibilities mean you may not be at that point yet, but this could open that door for you to create something new, something better, and really think about long term, where the future is headed, using the blockchain technology. And the blockchain technology, what my company, for example, is doing is we are slowly but surely in the research development, and we're building a platform that's going to be able to open that financial inclusion as part of the mission, which means everyday people, everyday money will be put to work. And then one day, you've built some kind of perhaps legacy wealth, maybe pass on to your children, and more importantly, the financial growth that you're going to be experiencing as an individual, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, but also as a company. So it's quite agnostic in that sense. And again, will you join the digitized future with borderless opportunities to move capital, investing, and building wealth? So let's definitely talk after this. If you want to connect, I'm going to be there. But right now I'm going to open because we still have about 10 minutes, 11 minutes. Would love to hear your thoughts. If anyone is looking into this, involved, I see you. Yes. Do you want to use the microphone so everyone can hear you? What's your name? Hi. Is it on? I think you just might press. Okay. Lewis, hi.
Because one of my big goals with my business, I teach people how to invest as it is, but there's so many people that don't have a lot of capital to start with. So, I think we're on. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
So there's there we go. I can't do that. So if
so repeat that part because
Yeah.
you said it well. So
Yes, so my name's Lewis Crompton. I teach people how to invest already, but there's a lot of people out there who don't have a lot of money to get started.
yes.
So one of my big goals is to create something which allows people to start with not a lot, anywhere in the world. So I do a lot of work in South Africa, and there's plenty of people in South Africa who want to invest but don't have the capital. So this is exciting to me from the tokenization perspective on something like real estate, where people can start investing in real estate but with not a lot of capital to begin with. My question is, how do you get around the fees for moving money? For example, in crypto markets, there's gas fees and everything like that, which
Right.
can end up being quite expensive and may price people out. Is that the same with tokenization? Is it different? How do you limit the cost that makes it still effective for people to invest?
So the perspective I can share with you, Lewis, thank you for sharing that, is from a business standpoint. First, as a customer, obviously, we know there's always going to be some kind of a fee, but it's definitely not going to be that 20, 30% that they're trying to do when you're doing the institutional version of investing thousands and hundreds and thousands of dollars, right? So from a business perspective, if it's a platform and the technology that you want to use to create a digitized offering, or perhaps getting to the asset holdings for your own business or for your personal use, then obviously you can customize, what those fees are, because it's being able to drive what your business wants to do for your customers, for your investors. And so that's sort of the power, or maybe perhaps the advantage that we have as a business owner to be able to do. We can design what we can offer, right, to our customers, to the investors. So I'll use an example, which you're probably most likely familiar, crowdfunding. There's always a fee. When you use PayPal services, there's always a fee because you're doing financial transacting. So a company still has to make money. So if you want to serve your investors, your clients, then you have to think like a business and be able to see, how can I leverage, right, this digitized platform and be able to go in the wave of, I don't even think it's going to be a wave. Blockchain is going to be the way of life. In the next 5 to 10 years, that is going to be the bottom line. Just like AI. AI is here to stay. And so both of that actually is going to really interconnect. I mean, I have colleagues, my advisors are in this space. And so I'm seeing the work that they're doing, even not being in the finance and real estate space. I'm seeing the work that they do on blockchain and on AI. And so I think you as an entrepreneur, as a business structure, you can design, right, what you want to do and serve for your clients and investors. And so that gives you an open canvas to really work with. Now, if you're talking about from an investing standpoint and you want to get involved, for example, Masterworks, right? So you can, you pretty much own a fraction of the artwork. I mean, yes, there's fees, but at the end of the day, it's assessing what is your financial and investing goal look like in the next 10 to 20 years. I mean, for me personally, my goal is to build generational wealth because I do have a family, I do have kids, and it's not just from the material aspect of the wealth, but it's to educate, it's to mentor and open new doors so that many more people can really have an opportunity. It's part of my vision is universal wealth should be a privilege for all.
Yeah.
Right? But we are not shown that. We have to seek that. We have to come to conferences like this. We have to ask questions like this in order for us to really empower the questions and doubts that we have. A lot of people have doubts about crypto, about blockchain. And for example, crypto is not just about a digital currency. It is technology. So it's here to stay. Whether you've heard FTX and Binance, going through that, it is here to stay, whether we want to accept that or not. Just like e-com. Yeah. Just like Amazon, it is here to stay. Amazon just invested about $15 billion in India, to expand on that side of the continent. So it's here to stay. All of these things are evolving and changing every single day. So look at it from an investor perspective and as a business perspective, and I'm telling you, you will build that leverage. And if you want to talk some more and just kind of exchange discussions, I'm free, I'm open, I'm here today.
Brilliant. Thank
So
you very
thank
much.
you, Louis, for the question. Hello.
Hi,
Hi, your name?
Debbie Lee.
I'm sorry?
Debbie Lee.
Deborah Lee, hi.
Hi, yes. So I've had several people talk to our team, or talk to me anyway, about using the Bitcoin and the in particular, with blockchain to help finance. So there's an R&D step that we have to do, and then we'll be able to start building facilities
Yes.
that are extracting carbon dioxide, producing water and carbon materials, and quite a whole slew of resources. So we could be really generating
Right.
wealth. But I haven't had anybody who could actually take it to the point of execution. And I've not exactly clear how, but I'm not, digging up the gold yet, that I could make a gold coin or a carbon coin or a lithium coin or whatever. So
Execution is definitely everything, and I think from my understanding, and correct me if I'm missing something, execution is everything. So if you want to get into this space of using blockchain and crypto as your technology, you will have to create a team. You will have, obviously qualified, mindsets and skills. And it takes project management execution. So, part of my business and my family's firm, so we're kind of directly, indirectly connected. We're in that space now, and it's taken about 1.5 years to really execute. And there's a lot of ups and downs because certain things have to go through compliance, especially the legal framework, to be able to do cross-border financial transactions, to be able to tokenize, to be able to asset and wealth manage. And when you're talking about that, it's from the advising, but also from the custodial aspect of it. So being in the US, right, we need to have the legal framework. Same thing, if you're basing that in Asia or in Latin America, you have to understand what the SEC rulings are for any financial framework that you're developing.
but you provide that service.
So, good question. That's a good question because we will be launching that actually. Okay. So there's a lot of things that we have in the works. So we're able to onboard projects, but we're also able to help companies like yours execute from the inner operation side of things. And so all of these things are in pilot run as we speak. And so, of course, we're still tweaking, making adjustments. So I'd love to have a conversation even more if you'd like to connect. I'm going to be roaming around. You'll see me. I traveled with my family. I always bring my kids with me. So I'm that woman, with 6 kids. So I don't have a fancy hat or red glasses, but you'll find me.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming here, and we'll definitely connect, Debbie. So thank you. Hello, we have 2 minutes, so would love to hear your
Okay, I'll make it quick.
Sure.
In terms of, I'm Sujan, in terms of regulatory uncertainty, I know China banned crypto, and you mentioned India, but in terms of crypto, it was banned in 2018, and then the Supreme Court overturned it in 2020. That's 1/3 of the global population who can't legally access it. So do you really think blockchain is going to stick around? Because those are 2 fast-paced economies that have banned it. What's your take on
I'm very optimistic. I'm married to a technologist. Been together for 18 years plus, and I think what my family's firm and what my company Ashtree Capital Wealth Group is diving into. My advisors come from CoinMotion, Aave. So if you're familiar with those companies, these are the people that started that 5-10 years ago before I even knew of blockchain and what's happened with Bitcoin. I remember my first experience with that. They were selling it for $2. And I said, what am I going to do with this Bitcoin? Had no clue. And for me, my personal take on that, I absolutely believe it's going to be here. China is one market. And I think, to just create that quality debate, I can go on, and we can get into politics as well, because a lot of this is driven not only by technology, but our systematic and governmental ownership of those decisions to regulate and not regulate. And so it is an absolute important conversation to have as an entrepreneur, professional, as a technologist, but also, you know, someone like me who's your everyday Joe, everyday Jane, because it is here to stay.
Okay.
So
Thanks.
thank you for coming
Thanks.
and joining that question. We have 23 seconds, sir.
Okay.
20 seconds.
A quick question. How do you know investment organizations are legitimate with crypto? I've been scammed about 4 or 5 times already.
Oh, no. Well, we'll definitely have a good conversation in that. But to end the note, due diligence is key. And there are frameworks for that. And so that's where I can help you with. Thank you for that question. Thank you. Thank you all for joining me.